Good morning and welcome to the Business Renovator. Yes, it's morning where I'm at. I'm in Mountain Standard Time or Daylight Time for a little bit. And this is the Business Renovator. I'm Coach Phil, aka Phil Jilks. What I'd like to start with today is a quote out of this great book by a friend of mine, Brian Monahan. And I'm going to start it off with this one. Learn to smile at every situation. See it as an opportunity to prove your strength and your ability. Joe Brown. Brian's take on that is smiling at every situation isn't akin to ignoring a situation. Smiling is about having a sense of confidence and purpose in your work. Your clients can tell when you're in touch with your strength as a customer service professional. When customers sense your strength, trust is evoked. Trust is the best friend of a customer delight individual. Great wisdom by my friend Brian Monahan, author and curator of this book, Customer Delight. So on that note, I'm going to talk about a few things that I use in my life, and every client that I work with gets an opportunity to get introduced to these concepts. And a typical coaching sessions, usually at the beginning, would focus in on what I'm going to share today. So what I wanted to do here is start off with this. This is a new quote that came to me. It was inspired by being part of a emerging sales winners group on Facebook. And one of the authors of some sitcom, and he's a great comedian as well, as Pat Hazel. He has a slightly different twist on this because of the sales group that we're in. He put, "You expect sales." When I saw that, I thought, you know what? Not everybody I talk to is directly involved with the sales profession. I think everybody sells something, an idea, a concept, not necessarily in business. Could be father to a son, mother to a husband, or mother to her son, or a wife to her husband, pardon me. Communications is crucial. So one of the ways to have a positive outcome is to expect success, as opposed to expecting the worst. Look forward to the best, which really launches me into how we can program our minds for success. There's numerous strategies, and lots of people that talk about this have more academic education than I do. My life experience is what I'm sharing here today, based on people I follow, people I've been mentored by, and content I've absorbed and assimilated. So basically, this is what we do. If you did this every day, 3 things to start your day, and you could even use this to end your day as well. And that would be to think of 3 things you're grateful for. So for example, I could say StreamYard. That's the platform I'm using to do my live streams, the computer that allows me to do the live streams, and the house and office space that I have to do my live streams into technology. Those are things I'm grateful for. And the idea behind that is apparently we can't think of 2 things at the same time. We can flip back and forth from one to another, but we cannot think of 2 things exactly at the same time. And good morning, Larry. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate you. And we can't think of 2 things at the same time. On other lives, I've talked about the old lady, young lady, and what that means is you really just can't focus in on both of them. You can toggle back and forth, young lady, old lady, young lady, but not see both images exactly at the same time. Which means focusing on the 3 things you're grateful for helps you stay away from things that are bothersome, worrisome, or dragging you down. Dragging you down is taking up valuable energy that you could use to move forward, which takes me to my if you've ever run one of these live streams, there's a lot of great options here, and I'm trying to get to the next one. See, this even tells you how to do it. Use banners to summarize your talking points and display calls to action. So I'm being human now. Anyway, let's get back on track here. So after gratitude, 3 things you're grateful for. This one, when I say it, may sound like waffles, but it's got nothing to do with waffles at all. What it's all about is what's something I feel like sharing. So what do I feel like sharing is really what this is. And why do we do that? Again, it's that vacuum of focusing on things that you would prefer to have happen in your life. And it's been documented by experts that we go through our successes way too quickly and way too lightly. And one of the things you can do is stop that. Slow down enough to acknowledge the things that you've done, that you've overcome, the people you've helped, the things you've learned, for example. One of the things I encourage people to do is make a list of their 100 successes, lifetime successes. And you can certainly do more than 100, but as a minimum, do 100 in one sitting. And from the time you were born to wherever you are in your life today, and absolutely recall them all. Big and small, they really all matter. And when we do that, it's amazing how we change how we feel about ourselves. So the idea behind what I feel like sharing, or whiffles, is to get us to focus on and give sanction to and be proud of some of the things we've gone through, and don't take ourselves for granted. Going through our wins and our accomplishments way too quickly and way too lightly is more damaging than taking a few minutes out to reflect on it, even create a reflective journal and capture all of these. What I would do is encourage my clients then to make once we've done the 100, is to scrape off the top 10 of their successes. Like, for example, one for me out of my top 100 list, which actually is more than 100 now, but I still call it that. So one of them still for me is when I was a young kid and playing hockey, I was asked by the head coach to be the captain of the hockey team. Well, I still feel a charge with that, even as an adult and many decades away from that. It's a powerful thing to do. And then the last of the 3 questions that I ask myself daily, and my clients to get in the habit of doing, is to look at what are you looking forward to. So this is essentially looking at the goals you've established, not your to-do list so much, but the things that you were wanting to move into, the things that when you set a goal, there's a sense of fear, trepidation, anxiety, along with that is excitement and a thrill of accomplishing it, learning something, a milestone, getting a certificate, earning an additional amount of money on a regular basis, or growing your team by 30%, or buying another piece of real estate. So now your portfolio has got another investment property in it. It doesn't matter to me what they are, but it needs to matter to you. And looking forward to something drives you towards it, obviously, because you become what you think about most of the time. So in thinking about today, 3 things. 3 things you're grateful for. What is it you feel like sharing? And this is for yourself. It's not to brag to everybody else, but it's certainly to brag to yourself and give sanction to those things. And then the last thing is, what are you looking forward to? What are you looking forward to? And if you add this to that mindset, then what you've really done is you've set yourself up for success. What are you grateful for? What do you feel like sharing? And what are you looking forward to? Good morning. Look who's here. Randy said he was going to try and pop in, and he's here. He's consistently here to support me. He's an amazing individual, a road warrior, a father, a grandfather, I believe, and all-around wonderful guy. And Kellen, who is a coach in her own right, has been great and supportive to a bunch of us in the Megamind group and beyond. She has a live show on Tuesdays, normally at 9 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. And tomorrow she's modified it so that her guests can jump in. So it's going to start a little bit later, 15 minutes later. So you'll want to be there. And Larry, he's just an all-around great guy who I just recently met when we had a Zoom meeting probably a couple of weeks ago. He's a very interesting dude. If you haven't had a chance to talk to him, I would encourage you to do that. So that's it for me today. It's just a short one. I wanted to talk about 3 things that would help you expect success. 3 things you're grateful for. What is it you feel like sharing? And then last but not least, that's a cliche. We say that all the time. So the last one of the 3 is, what are you looking forward to? So in Canada, this weekend is a holiday weekend for us because we celebrate Thanksgiving this weekend. It's actually on October 10th was the holiday when most people have their meals. Some of them have yesterday or some are having them today. But regardless, it is a long weekend here. So to all of my Canadians, happy Thanksgiving. And to everybody else that's watching this either live or on the replay, I'm grateful that you popped in to watch this. If you have any comments or feedback, happy to hear them. If you know of anybody else that would benefit by hearing these, certainly share this on your favorite streams of Facebook, YouTube, and or Twitter, or damn it, all 3 of them. Anyway, have a wonderful, wonderful week.